crypto market is crashing, Bitcoin is crashing. What is happening? Should you sell or should you buy more right now? What's up guys, this is Joshua Andre here, and in this video I'm going to be discussing exactly what is happening to the cryptocurrency market, but not only that, what you can do about it, how you can make sure that you don't lose out, and also how you can potentially even maximize your profits going forward into the new year, into 2022. So what I'd like to say is, for those of you who are new to the Meta Wealth channel, as part of the Meta Wealth team, we actively manage and trade a few different accounts where we literally have hundreds of thousands worth of NFTs, cryptos, all things to do with the metaverse. So by the end of this video, you will understand not only what we're doing, but also how you can do something very similar, how you can leverage what's happening in the markets right now. But before we get into it, I do need to say that I am not a financial advisor. I did not go to any financial advisory university, diploma-y, stuff like that, okay? So what I like to say is make sure that you don't take any of this that's in this video as financial, as investment, or any advice like that. This is purely for your educational purposes only, and if you're gonna make any investments, make sure to do your own due diligence. Make sure to do your own research, okay? If you're gonna make an investment based on what one guy or people say in the video, then that is not an investment strategy that is scalable or will work, okay? So make sure to do your research. But enough of that, let's jump into the video. Let's jump into the computer right now to see what is happening in the cryptocurrency world as we speak. So I'm just on the laptop now. As you guys can see, right now, if we just look at the cryptocurrency market, you can pretty much see, if I scroll down, everything's red. What does that mean? Things are crashing, okay? There's a few things that are going up, like out of the hundreds that we're seeing of red, pure red. What does this mean? Does this mean that we should sell now or buy? Well, before I answer that, what is important for us to realize is how these markets work. Now, first of all, Bitcoin in itself, as you know, generally when Bitcoin goes up, generally all the other coins follow. Generally when Bitcoin goes down, all the other coins follow. So right now, Bitcoin's crashing, the crypto market is crashing. Is it going to crash any further? That is the question. Now, if you was to ask me this a few days ago, from when I was looking at the charts and analyzing the charts, I would have told you that actually Bitcoin will probably be crashing a bit more. Then after it gets around this mark here, it will probably spike back up. But what I've been seeing is there's a big possibility that actually, based on price action of today, early January, actually these markets may crash even further. Now, we can see, even if from the videos from literally 1-2 months ago, Bitcoin was at around $60,000, if not a bit more. Now, this means that Bitcoin in itself has literally dropped between 30 to 40% in a month, 2 months. Now, that is huge. What does that mean? That means if you invested in Bitcoin 1-2 months ago when it was at the $60,000 mark, let's say you invested $1,000, what would your investment be worth right now? Literally $700, $600. Now, losing $300, $400 in a month from 30-40% is pretty big. But also we got to remember that these markets are very volatile. So just as equally as they can dip very quickly, they can rise very quickly, which is a beautiful thing if you're investing in cryptocurrency now yourself, or if you're thinking of investing in cryptocurrency. Now, I don't know if any of you guys remember the video that I did around 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we spoke about this number here. This number is the market cap. Now, if you're not sure what the market cap is and how you can leverage understanding market cap for your investments, make sure to check that video out now. I'll link it somewhere either in the description or just in this video. But let me just jump into the market. So we can see in that video, literally 2-3 weeks ago, this number was very different. This is the total market cap. Basically, to put it simply, just think of it as the total amount of money pumped into this particular market. So the market cap of cryptocurrency, the total amount of money that is pushed into cryptocurrency right now. At that video, if you check it out after this video, you'll see that when I was talking about this number, it was sitting from around the $2.2 to $2.3 trillion mark. Yeah, I said that. I said $2.2 to $2.3 trillion. Now, as you can see here, it's at around the $1.9 trillion mark, which is still a good amount of investment in the cryptocurrency space, but losing 400 billion. Yes, you heard that right, guys. You're not mishearing. $300 billion in literally a month, less than a month, is huge. So what is this showing? This is showing that whales, people with big allocations of cryptocurrency, big pockets, have pulled out their money, have pulled out a lot of money. Does this mean though that the crypto market is crashing and more whales and people are going to be pulling out? Not necessarily. Okay, but by the end of this video, I'll show you some very cool graphs, which will show you whether you should basically invest more now or whether you should actually pull out too. But before we get into that, it's crucial that we understand this. So if we look at this chart, we can see this chart is basically just for the year. I'm just clicking on now. You can see 1st of January it was $2.2 trillion, and today on the 7th of January you can see that we're sitting at the $1.9 trillion market cap. Also, we can see that late last night actually the market cap went below 1.9 trillion and was at around 1.8 trillion. This means you can see very quickly though, what does this show? It shows that whales pulled out a big amount of cash at this point, market crashed, and then also pumped back in. Why do they do this? It's because imagine the market price is up here. When they sell, let's say this is 50,000. When they sell, the markets for that particular coin, let's say they sold in Bitcoin, the 50,000 will drop to 45,000, will drop to 40,000. What this means now is now if they reinvest, yes, they've made profits at the 50,000 because why? They probably got in at the 20,000, 10,000, 5,000, maybe even 30,000 mark. But now at this $40,000 mark, because it's dropped, because literally here you can see the market cap has dropped. Now if they reinvest, they're getting it at a bargain price. Why? It's because now it's 40,000. When they reinvest, because they're pumping money in, people will see this spike, other people will invest, the markets will also rise. So what this is showing me is that there's no case of, oh, the crypto market's just going to disappear tomorrow. But what it is showing me is that people are pulling their cashing their profits in, because you got to remember, if we look at Bitcoin right now, let me just click on Bitcoin. You've got to remember where Bitcoin is now is still crazy high compared to where it was even a year ago. If we just do 1 year on this graph, you can see at the start of last year, sorry, Bitcoin was even at 30,000 at low. All-time low of last year was around the $30,000 mark. If we go all time, you can see Bitcoin's come from the hundreds of dollars mark. So Bitcoin is still super high, but also is noting that Bitcoin and where the cryptocurrency market is going is still expected to go even higher. So what I like to say now is not necessarily a time to be fearful. The thing about these markets is whales, people behind the scenes can manipulate these markets. They can literally be a case of, hey, you know what? Tomorrow, let's pull out $400 billion and cash out. Then in 1 month's time, let's pump that $400 billion because everyone's in fear. And if you just look at this graph, you can see the general trend of markets. So this thing is very consistent across a lot of markets. What you'll find is right here, as the markets are going up, you'll see hope. People will be hopeful, they'll be optimistic. Then markets will continue to go up, and they'll have that belief. They'll be like, oh my gosh, the markets have been going up, I need to jump in. Then here there'll be the thrill aspect, and you'll be like, oh my gosh, you know what, this is going up crazy. I'm gonna get my Lamborghinis, I'm gonna go straight to the moon, I'm gonna make so much money. Then what you'll find is they'll hit the euphoric moment. They'll be like, I've made it. That 9 to 5 that I was trying to work on, I'm so glad that I quit that and invested all my life savings into this. Now what happens is here, markets start to crash and people start to get into disbelief, start to get into complacency, where they're like, is this what's happening? Anxiety as the market drop further, denial, like, no, this can't be happening. I invested so much money into this, it's gotta recover. Then it crashes even further, panic, now anger, because literally they've invested so much and they've lost so much. And then it goes even as far as potentially people becoming depressed. Then what happens? The next cycle begins. Disbelief that it starts to rise again. At this point, people gave up all hope. For those of you who've been in cryptocurrency for some time, you will recognize this from the 2017 period, where literally it was up here. 2018 crashed, 2019, 2020 was here, 2020, 2021, 2022, now it's doing this again. So the important thing for this video that I want to put across to everyone is understanding that this cycle happens, but also is understanding what part of this cycle are we at. You take a look at this. Do you think that we're at a phase where maybe we hit a spike like this and we're recovering? Or do you think maybe we're up here and now it's going back down? But one crucial thing to notice is, like I said in a previous video, the cryptocurrency market cap, the whole total market cap, is predicted to be anywhere between $7 to $11 trillion by 2023. You heard that correctly. Okay, again, $7 to $11 trillion by 2023. Right now, we're still at around $2 trillion. So for us here, as part of our accounts, the way we're looking at this market right now, if we just refresh coin market cap, is very simple, that now everything's on offer. So it's a case of, are we getting things at 20% off? Or is there a chance that maybe we can even get things at 50% off in a few days? So for that is for you and your own risk reward appetite. For us here, we invest very differently when we're managing all our trading accounts to the average person. And you gotta understand the way that the markets move, the way that the markets are manipulated is based on human psychology. Very simple. When you look at graphs like this, when you look at even just the generic graph, human psychology here is when it's going up is buy. Human psychology here when it's going down is sell. But if you was to for a second switch this perspective, right? Switch this perspective to think, hold on, this is going up way too quick. Let's say you're at here, you're like, it's been going up crazy. I want to get in, but I know that actually anything that's going exponential, what goes up must come down. So at this point, I'm going to wait it out. Then at this point when it's going down, it's like, oh, it's going down. People are selling, but you're like, hey, this is a discount. This is an opportunity. So when you're at this point, this is the point where we're buying. This is the point where we're looking at it like everyone's selling, everyone's in anxiety, everyone's angry, everyone's getting depressed because they've invested so much. But us here, we're like, you know what? Now's the time to buy. Now, like I said, this isn't financial advice to be like, buy now. This is for you to do your own research and understand what investment strategy works for you. But one thing that I want to show here, this is pretty cool what we use, and it's the fear and greed index. So if we just look at this, you can see right now, Bitcoin, the fear and greed index shows that the whole market is in extreme fear. Now, if we just look down here, what does it say? Extreme fear can be a sign that investors are too worried. This could be a good buying opportunity. Note that down. Whether it's in the comments or on your notepads, this could be a good buying opportunity. Now, note when investors are getting too greedy, so when this number is in this section, maybe the 80s, the 90s, it shows that means the market is due for a correction. What does a correction mean? A correction is very simply this. Up here, the market's investors getting too greedy. It's due for a correction soon. This is the correction. It's going back down and it will recorrect. So also what I want to show you here, and this is very cool. So this is, if you want to look into it yourself, it's called lookintobitcoin.com, and you can look at their fear and greed index chart. What this is showing Bitcoin's price from 2018 to right now. And what it's also showing is the red. Anytime you see red dots, it's showing extreme fear. Orange is showing the moderate level, and then green is showing extreme greed. So what you can see is that right now, whenever we generally see extreme fear or fear, generally after that, soon after, there is a market correction. There is a new spike, and then it goes back up. But what you can see here is right now we're sitting at around that 18 mark, that 20 mark, low 20s, 18 mark, 15 even. And what we can see is that this could potentially be a time to buy. Just like here, when it was sitting at around 19, sitting at around 20, was a time to buy because now you can make profit here. Yes, it crashed again, but notice how this low is still higher than this low. Let me say that again. Notice how this low is still higher than this low. Notice how it's higher lows. Even up to here, we go low, high, low, but it's still higher than the last low. Higher again, low, but it's still higher than the last low. So generally, we're following this upward market trend. The only thing about this though, like I said earlier, is determining whether this is a 20% discount at Walmart or a 20% discount at Amazon that we're getting here, or is it a 50% discount? What also is something to note and why I love this chart so much is because down here you can see at this mark, let's say back in January 2020, there was a case where it was like, hey, this is a bargain, this is a discount, let me buy now because it's at the extreme fear mark. But what happened straight after that is boom, the market dropped significantly, and now we're at super extreme fear of that level 9. As you can see here, the score is 9. Now, which means two things. First is that if you bought here, would you have lost some money? Short-term wise, yes, right? Long-term wise, no. If you bought here, you would have lost money if it went down here and you sold. You're like, you know what, this market's crashing, I'm out. But if you held, like I've shared in a few other videos, make sure to check out the old videos because, not even old, literally a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago. I say old because this market is shifting so quickly. The cryptocurrency, the NFT markets, metaverse is shifting like every second of every day. Make sure to check them out though. 2-3 weeks ago, I'll link some of them at the end of this video. Because if you don't understand this stuff, guys, you're going to lose money. That's the plain and simple thing. And we're here doing these videos because we don't want any of our community, any of our meta wealth community to lose any money. We want to make sure that you guys maximize this huge transformation of wealth that's going on right now. So the second thing is noticing that, okay, short-term wise, you may have lost some money in the case sense that your portfolio will be down. But if you held, long-term wise, you'd be in massive gains still right now. Yes, so you would have got it at a discount. Another thing is saying, hey, you know what? I'm thinking that this is only a 20% reduction. I want to wait for the 50 to 80% reduction, which is down here. Then if that's the case, you're getting that at almost like an all-time low of these past few years. Then when it goes even just back to the last low that we was at here, you're in profit. Then when it goes all the way up here, it's just pure gravy, pure icing on the cake. So the key thing to note is that generally from what we're seeing from the research that we're doing, this mark here could either be something like this, replicating this, where very soon, let's say in a couple days, the market will correct, go back up, okay, have another all-time high. Or it could suggest that actually we're waiting for another dip, another massive dip. So for us here, it's a case of either way, it's still a big opportunity. Either way, we're hitting a low that is going to be a discount compared to what the price is going to be going forward. Or it could be a case where you're like, you know what, I'm going to wait out a bit more, and I feel like it's going to go back to something like this, where it's a score of like 11, 10, 9, and then I'll invest then. Either way though, generally what we're seeing, crypto markets are going to be increasing. Like I said, this is not financial advice. We're not guaranteeing that Bitcoin is going to go to the moon, but that from the research that we're doing and the way that we're managing our accounts, this is the type of strategy that we're following based on our risk reward appetite. So that is the main message for today's video, guys, is understanding that yes, cryptocurrency is crashing, but yes, all the data is showing that the markets, the cryptocurrency markets, are expected to do pretty big things. Okay, from the time that Facebook has changed its name to Meta, showing that it's already adapting the whole meta space thing, the whole cryptocurrency side of things. From the time that Tesla even announced, Elon Musk even announced that he's investing in Bitcoin, accepting Bitcoin, PayPal, all these places accepting Bitcoin now, you can see that the future is shifting. And right now we're on the cusp of that, where people are starting to understand what is happening. People are starting to understand, hey, this cryptocurrency thing isn't necessarily a fad. It's something that's shifting, and maybe something that I need to be in on to make sure that I'm shifting with it. And not only that, but leveraging it to maximize my abundance, maximize my profits. So other than that, guys, if you've got any questions based on what I shared in this video or anything else, maybe some previous videos, make sure to drop them in the comments. Right now, we've got a whole backlog of videos that we're recording and putting out there because there's a lot of content that we need to get out there. But we are still watching your comments. So if there's anything that you've asked for in the comments, we have taken note, and there will be a future video of that. If there's anything you want to see us film, us record, us deliver on this channel, make sure to leave it in the comments so we know what questions you have, what things you want answered, and we'll make sure to do a video on that if there's enough demand. So just if you do enjoy these videos, make sure to hit the like button so we know what content you're enjoying and we can do more of that. Also, if you are new to the channel, do not go away. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you do not miss any of the videos that we are doing. Every week we're doing videos to make sure that every one of our Meta Wealth community is understanding what is happening in the markets, is understanding how they can leverage these markets, but better than that is building their financial literacy so that you can have that freedom lifestyle in your life. So other than that, guys, make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit the like button. If you haven't already, make sure to follow the Meta Wealth Twitter account because we're posting updates on there pretty much every single day. That's Meta Wealth by IAC. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Make sure to invest smartly. See you in the next one. And then it goes, I'm back.